Hey guys, thought I would just do a quick video of smokes, flashes, mollies that I think everyone should know on the basic maps, starting with T-side, smoking corner from long, squidge into the corner, aim at the flap on the box, not a jump throw or anything, just lands on corner. Can be helpful if you've got an alt peek in here. What else we got? We got the Xbox smoke. You line up with this corner here on the lamppost and aim at the top of the tallest spike, and that should land on Xbox. Obviously good for pushing short. When you're on short, if you want to put an end send or molly on site, aim at the pizza sign, and that'll get any CTs trying to head camp on the box. Also good for after plant situations. Coming down long, I'm a little bit more hit and miss with this one. You just sort of smoke next to that red sign. I missed that. Take two. Sort of smoke next to that red sign, or aiming next to the red sign, and it will smoke across well enough. It'll do. Coming into upper as T's doing the double flash. Put the first flash in like that, and the second flash in like that, and obviously they pop there for anyone watching upper, and there, which would even get people on car. So that's a thing, and that works. If you're starting as CT side at the start of the round, and you don't want to get picked mid, or let's say you're on your own, you don't want to get counted, if you're just standing still, you can aim at the pillar there. If you're just standing still, you can aim at the pillar there, and that one will block mid. Or if you're running at the start of the round, you bounce it off the box instead. And they will end up in that sort of area to help you cross. The T-side double flashes do work backwards if you wanted to push into upper, or one I like to do is bounce it off this side of the pillar, and that lands there. So both of those will flash anyone in upper, or people watching it from lower. Hello again, this time a quick bit of Mirage, starting with the obvious T-side smokes. Step on the first step, aim in the middle of this mass here, and this one is for step. Yep, that'll block off stairs, so you want to push like palace or whatever. Another great one, you line up with this pillar here, aim just to the left of the midpoint of that thing. It'll bounce off stairs once, opposite wall, and this is blocking off jungle connector. Last one, this one has a few versions. I like to line up with this right hand pillar, the bottom of this, and do a jump throw. And this one smokes CT, thereabouts. It's not great, but I think it's the easiest one that I knew, so it's a quick one for pushing out. You can obviously throw flashes as you're coming out. Just lob one over, and it pops way above, so it'll let them know you're coming, but it gets the job done. If you want to be pushing mid more safely, and you've already got to this point here, if you do a crouch throw on this corner of the box, that'll drop nicely into window. It's one of the easiest ones I can think of as well, once again. If you're T-side pushing up apps, I think this is a smoke. You'll stand here, aim between those two, and it will smoke van off from apps, or bench. This is more useful as a rush smoke though, because you can get down into it and through to bench, rather than getting picked off from market when you're at van. If you're coming from apps, lobbing a smoke off either of, not that one, no, it does the job, will just block short as you drop, same sort of idea. It's good to put a flash off one of those as well, because that will flash market, arches, that sort of angle. And if you're earlier in the push, you can throw a flash like this, and that'll, did it wrong. So I'll take two, aim in, it's higher up the wall. Yeah, that one will flash out of the window and pop straight away, so there's no looking away from it. If you were defending CT, you can play this angle at the start of the round, and if you hear footsteps in apps, if you want to slow down the push, say you're on your own, there's a double flash where you put one on there and bounce the second one off the van, and that will slow down their push. And I would normally drop off the bench, do what you want with that. Apart from that, I'd say the CT-sided smokes are more just sort of chucking things where it works to slow down the push. Can't think of anything else you need to know on Mirage. Hey again, this time cash. Aren't many to be learnt here. Let's just go ahead and get a smoke. Yeah, first one is quad. This smudge on the floor, and above the second of these protruding objects just floats over to quad, so that if you're pushing from main, quad is smoked off. Similar one is you bounce it off the top of this box, and that will smoke off your car if you're pushing. Hi Ash from the future. Those two both work nicely. CT, if you're defending B site and you have a flash, if you will excuse me, as you drop down from heaven at the start of the round, you can flash against the opposite wall and then drop into checkers, and that will mask you crossing over. The same way as a T that is pushing, you could bounce a flash off the opposite wall. That's a popular one to flash people watching from main, or sometimes I prefer to bounce them along the floor, which works in a similar fashion. It's worth smoking that off. That wasn't really a great one, but you know what I mean. Just for people watching from heaven and tree room, that was a pretty poor one. Sometimes when crossing over it can help. You can jump on the box, and that's often won't be watched in quite the same way. Pushing out of checkers, sometimes a smoke there can help. That blocks off headshot and tree room as you cross, but that's all up to you, isn't it? Sometimes, you know, mid smokes, I used to know some, don't anymore. They can help, but I don't find us pushing mid that often. So I hope this video was vaguely informative and not that annoying. If you'll excuse the thunder in the background, it's British summertime. See you all.